Okay, so let's begin. We're not going to waste much time because I know you are supposed to go and study. So I'm going to talk about all the courses except DME, but I'm going to talk about it just a bit as well. Yeah, so I thought of at least telling you some things that you are supposed to know as you are preparing for exams. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is your CAs are going to be like all the CAs are supposed to be released before you write your exams. And I'm more interested in math because now things have changed. Math CA is out of 40, and sometimes you feel like it's not going to be possible for you to pull through for the fact that you have been struggling with the test and the quizzes. But I want to give you a scenario. Okay, if you look at test 1, a lot of people failed. Or let's talk about test even the quiz, but test 1, a lot of people failed because the test was based on 2 topics. It was just sets and functions. So now you have come, you are trying to understand sets, then they said you are writing test 1. You didn't understand much on functions, of which it was hard for you to at least get a 50. Okay, but if at all you got even 30%, it's okay, because during the test or the quiz you don't choose questions, so you write everything. Even if you don't understand, even if you don't know the topic, there is nothing that you can do about it. You have to write. So test and exam, tests are very hard than exam. Why? Because exam you are going to choose. You choose the question. So you have question 1 all the way to question 7. You choose 5, you leave 2. If you look at all the past papers so far, functions only, functions only carries about 40% of the exam. This means that if you don't know functions, then it's going to be very difficult for you to pull through, because if you don't know functions, even these other topics is going to be very difficult for you. Okay, someone is saying they can't see my board. Is it true? So you can't see my board because maybe your network is not okay, but others are able to see my board. Anyone to confirm if at all they are able to see my screen? Yes, so it should be network. Yeah, it should be network. So I want to show you this paper, one of the papers for exam that should be. I'll go for last year, 2024. Any, just any. Let's hope I'm going to find it. I want to show you something. I want to show you something. Okay, math exam. Which one should I get? I'll get for 2024 because 2024 it was okay. I'm not able to see it here. but I should be able to see it here. Should I use for 2022? Okay, I'll use this one for 2023. So even if I use for 2023, even 2024, it should be the same. The concept is the same. I'm just using it as a reference. So let us look at this paper, guys. So now, one thing about math is you need to be very much sure about sets. You need to be very much 100% sure about what functions, because 40% of the questions will be based on functions. So if you look at this paper, I do have a calculator here and I'm going to calculate for you. That is going to be easy for us. This question is under function. So this question is under function, and this question, you can't see my screen. Are you sure? You guys can see my screen. So if you can't see, meaning your network is not okay, you can just leave the meeting and then join it. Yes, you can't see, so you can just leave the meeting and join fast again. You'll be able to see it. It's because of network. Your network is not stable, so you can leave the meeting and join again. So for those who are able to see the screen, so you can clearly see that I'm telling you that functions, in fact, functions carries about even 45% of the whole paper. If you look at this question, if you look at this paper for 2023, this question 1b, everyone is experiencing the same problem. Okay, let me do this. What of now? Okay, you can see the paper now, right? Okay. Okay, thank you. So now I'm using the paper for 2023. If you look at this paper, I'm talking about functions. So I'm saying functions covers about more than 45%. Let me say approximate 45%. So you need to be very much sure about functions. If you look at the tutorial sheet 2, tutorial sheet 3, and tutorial sheet 4 is based on functions. Okay? So if you look at this paper, you'll be able to see that just question 1 had 8 marks of functions based on functions. Just question 1. Okay? Functions. Now again, if I go down here, I come to this question. This was question 2, but binary is not part of your syllabus. But question 2 didn't have any function. Then question 3, this, all the questions here is based on functions. So we have got 5, we have got 9. 5 plus 9, that is 14. Again, if you look down here, Even inequalities, they fall under functions. Even this guy, they fall under functions. So look at this. Even this guy, question 4, 8, 1 and 2 is also functions. So we have 3, 3 which is 9, then 4, 4 which is 8. 8 plus 6, that should be 14. So that is function. Again, if we come down here, we look at other questions. Okay, so if you look at question 7a, it was also based on functions. Question 7a1, this one was on functions, and how many marks? It was 4, 4. So that is again 8. So that's all about functions. In 2023, so functions, it was carrying 44 marks. Only functions, 44%. So this means that you can't run away from functions. Okay, so there are potential topics that you are supposed to know before you go for math. So the big topics that you are supposed to be sure of: one, functions. At least you are supposed to know everything on functions, so that at least if you choose any question, you'll be able to get that question. Okay, sets is a must. These are basics. And then trig also carries a lot of marks. Okay, so there are about 4 people who asked me this question: is it okay for me to pull through if at all I don't know probability, especially for those for 1100 or 1120, probability and the statistic? Yes, because probability and statistic is going to be question 7 alone. That would mean to say, if you want, you can leave it and choose the rest. But that does not mean that you are not supposed to know it. What if it's going to be very much simple out of all? Okay, so if you look at the paper for last year, most of the questions, they came from tutorial sheet. Now the best way is you have to know the tutorial sheet. Okay, and also they have been repeating the questions from past papers, so you have to know the 2024 paper, 2023 paper. For those of you who are already in the system with us, I think there is no need for you to struggle. But you don't know where these things are, but I'm going to show you, so that it should be easy for you to access them. Okay, so if you log in and then you want to learn math, so you go for mathematics. Okay, when you go for mathematics, then look down here. There's a part for full topic videos, tutorial sheet, and past papers. We also have recorded classes, like those classes we used to have early in the morning, especially for binomial, trig. All the recorded are also there. But I'm going to send after the meeting. But I'm interested to show you this. These past papers can help you to understand a lot of concept. So we have the past papers for 2023, both Math 1100 and 1120. We have the past papers for 2024 for Math 1100 and 1120. Now, these other years, the reason why we are not interested to solve is because some topics, especially matrices, vectors, mathematical inductions, were also included. So then we discovered to say, like, there will be few components that we are supposed to solve, of which it has already been covered within these papers which you have already solved. Okay, so find time, try to watch these videos. So the best thing is try to solve at your own time, then compare the answers with the solution that we have here. That is going to help you a lot. Okay, another best way, so you have to know the questions from tutorial sheet, all the questions, Because I'll give you an example. The paper for 2023, the paper for 2022, Math 1100, they got all the questions. All the questions came from tutorial sheet. From tutorial sheet 1 up to tutorial sheet 9, everything came from tutorial sheet. So you don't know. So one, you have to know all the questions from tutorial sheet 1. 2, you have to solve the quizzes and the tests that you have been writing. The exam format is going to be the same format, but they're going to change the figures. Okay? If at all they're not going to get questions from tutorial sheet, then solve at least the past papers starting from 2020 up to 2024. Deal done. All the tutorial sheet here, you can find them. We have also solved them. So for 1120 is here, 2025, 1100, you'll be able to find them there, especially if you're registered with our platform. Okay? If at all you want to learn the full topic videos, it's fine, you can do that. Now, the last thing about math I want to know, I want to tell you this. After exam, sorry? Yes, so for math 111, one thing I want you to focus on is 1, the tutorial sheet, 2, the past papers for 2020, and the test that you have been writing and the quizzes. If you are going to know these 3, then you are safe for math. Okay? Now, I want you to know again one thing, because math is big. Whenever we're talking about time management, when it comes for math, remember, yes sir. Thank you, sir. So another thing is, when it comes for time, you are going to write, you have got 5 questions in 3 hours. So now 5 questions in 3 hours, if you are very slow, not very, but if you are slow, you are going to, you can even solve 4 questions and leave the whole of 1 question. If you are very slow, you can solve 3 questions, then you leave 1. But the most important thing is you only solve what you know. Okay? Any question that requires you to think, you skip it. If at all you're going to have another time, then you come back and solve it. So when you choose your questions, and again, when choosing questions, you need to be very much careful. Look at the marks. You need to be choosing questions such that in each question, if at all you can be able to get more than 11 marks, then you are good. If you count the marks, because they are going to indicate the marks, if you can get more than 11 marks on that question, then you are good to go. You can choose that question. So check the questions first, all of them, see them. Which questions am I going to be able to score at least more than 11? Not you choose a question, then you end up getting 8 out of 20. No. Okay? So you need to be very much fast and accurate, then choose the question that you know that you are going to get at least more marks. Another thing is, you only solve, like I've said, you only solve what you know and leave what you don't know because of time. So for math, I'll end here. I'll go to another course. But if you have got questions based on math, you can ask before I go to another course. Any question? No question? Hmm? Yes, you can ask. So for you guys who are at Mungushi, like I said, this one is for we are orienting for exams. For Mungushi, we had an orientation yesterday, but we're going to have another one, and we are going to communicate in the group. Sure, sure. Any questions so far? No, 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 don't leave. Don't leave for math first. If at all you don't have questions, then okay. So, looking at time, I think we're not going to manage doing everything at once. So now, for those who have joined the class today, or the meeting today for orientation, this is only for those who have joined the orientation. For those who have joined orientation today, and you really want to access this content that I was showing you, you can pay at a promotion. Only. Instead of paying 100 kwacha, you're going to pay 80 kwacha. Okay, you should just inbox me after the meeting. So for those who have joined and then you want to access these things, I give you a promotion of 80 kwacha. This is just for today. If you are going to pay tomorrow, and tomorrow you are getting your accommodation allowance, that's what I've heard, but I'm not sure. So from today up to tomorrow, 23 hours, you can pay 80 kwacha per course. Okay, so for math we end there. Tomorrow we are going to talk about physics. You can leave the meeting.